This video will be a full tour and documentation of this 2015 Ford Edge Sport.
This Edge is painted in ruby red tinted clear coat metallic.
You do get smart key access for all four doors. The front door panels do have storage areas. Of course, you do get power windows, locks, and mirrors. The driver's seat also gets 3-person memory. Storage next to the driver's seat.
The Sport trim has an ebony interior with seats finished in a combo of leather and Alcantara.
Both the front seats are also fully power adjusted. Aluminum sport pedals. And now, let's go ahead and start it up. On the key fob, you've got the buttons for lock, unlock, tailgate release, and panic. And of course, along with Smart Key, it also has push-button ignition.
The Edge is a mid-size crossover offered by Ford that made its debut for 2007. As of the 2022 model year, the Edge is in its second generation. However, 2022 looks to be the last year for the Edge, at least in North America. The Edge served as sort of a middle ground between the compact Edge and the mid-sized Explorer. The Edge was a mid-sized SUV like the Explorer, but it was shorter and only had 2 rows of seats. This 2015 model we have here represents the second generation of the Edge, which made its debut for 2015, marking the Edge's first ever 100% redesign. The second generation Edge did receive numerous updates throughout its run. It was also the first generation of the Edge to be sold in Europe thanks to the One Ford concept. It uses the Ford CD4 platform, which also underpinned the second-gen Lincoln MKX, or the Lincoln Nautilus as it was known beginning in 2019. The biggest update the second-gen Edge received was the mid-cycle refresh it got for 2019. Said refresh gave it things like some updated styling, a new transmission, and some new features. The Sport trim also became the ST and gained more power. As for other notable changes, 2016 models got the Sync 3 infotainment system, which replaced the outgoing MyFordTouch. Then for 2021, the new Sync 4 system made its way to the Edge, together with a much larger, almost Tesla-like central touchscreen. In the US, the Edge comes in 4 trim levels for the 2015 model year, those being SE, SEL, Titanium, and Sport. In terms of engine options, there are 3 offered overall. SE through Titanium could be had with either a 245 horsepower 2-liter turbo 4 or a 280 horse 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6. The Edge Sport, however, has an engine of its own, which is a 2.7-liter EcoBoost twin turbo V6 with 315 horsepower. The Sport trim also adds a sportier suspension setup and some unique cosmetic upgrades inside and out. A 6-speed automatic is the sole transmission across the board, and your drivetrain options are either front-wheel drive like the one in this video, or all-wheel drive. In 2015, the Edge competed with models like the Chevy Equinox and Nissan Murano. In Ford's 2015 US crossover lineup, the mid-size 2-row Edge slots between the compact Escape and the mid-size 3-row Explorer.
Now, in the instrument cluster, you have the sole analog gauge, which is the speedometer. And then on either side, there are information displays. which can be controlled by their corresponding sets of controls on the steering wheel. So this side corresponds to this side. First, we'll take a look at this. Got most of your trip computers, vehicle settings, or go on display mode. You can choose between what you see, like tachometer and fuel gauge, fuel and temperature, tire pressure and fuel, digital speedometer, distance empty, whatnot. And then you got your trip computers, fuel economy info, driver assist things, and vehicle settings and whatnot. I say and whatnot a lot in these tours, sorry about that. And then on this side, you can go between information corresponding to entertainment. Right now, it's also color-coded like the MyFordTouch, so red for entertainment, green for navigation, yellow for phone. Entertainment shows what station you're on. You can also push up and down to seek through different stations. Then your different entertainment source. Then go to navigation, tells you where you are, along with a compass. And then a phone for repairing a phone. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped, multifunctional steering wheel. There are sport grips at 10 and 2. As for controls, on the top of the spokes, as you saw earlier, are the information display controls in the gauge cluster. On this side, you also have your cruise control. On this side, your seek track, hands-free phone, along with audio controls. There are also paddle shifters on the back for manually shifting the transmission. This is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel. Got some storage for the driver, your headlight controls, air vent. Right here is your high beam and turn signal stock. And on this side is your wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, you got a speaker up top, along with a storage compartment, air vents on either side. Got the touchscreen interface for your MyFordTouch infotainment system, push button ignition, your hazard light button, CD player, some of the physical radio controls. You got your volume knob and seek track and tuning. And then along here are the controls for your dual zone automatic climate control, along with the controls for your 3-stage heated front seats. In front of the shifter, got a storage compartment along with an SD card slot, an aux port, and 2 USB ports. Does have a backup camera. Zoom in, get closer like a curb view. The vehicle's parking brake is electronically operated. You have 2 cup holders. Some of that piano veneer gloss black trim. Does have a 2-tiered center console. Got a power outlet in here. Also, next to here is also a power outlet. Sort of a faux carbon fiber look. Glove box is lockable. There are grab handles at all 4 corners. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors and lights. And on the driver's one, you also have your garage home link. Auto dimming rearview mirror. On the overhead console, you got your overhead lighting, along with a sunglass holder. Finally, we'll have a look at the MyFordTouch infotainment system. Right now we're on our home screen, and the way it was set up, this is the precursor to Sync 3. 2011 is when they started using the MyFordTouch systems. Around 2015, I believe this was like the last year for it. 2016 is when they started doing Sync 3. So, the way it was set up, you got the 4 color-coded quadrants. So yellow for phone, which is for your Bluetooth connectivities and the like. Green is for navigation. This does have navigation, of course, so there's your navigation map. Red for entertainment. Got your different sources of listening to music, AM, FM, Sirius XM, and you've also got a CD player and whatever you have in the USB port and whatnot. I said it again. And you even have Bluetooth audio streaming. So you're pretty set when it comes to music in this. And then for blue, you got climate control. You can control all the stuff from here. Then you can push info for stuff like your sync services, Sirius XM travel link, all that kind of information like local weather, local fuel prices, that kind of stuff if you have a subscription. Alerts, your calendar, vehicle apps. Then you've got also a settings screen. And you have ambient lighting, so it's a cool thing to have. Actually, you can see it in the cup holders. You have the headlights on, so go through the different colors for a second. And I think that's pretty much the gist of the MyFordTouch. And now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Both of the front windows are fully automatic.
The Sport trim adds these 20-inch 5-split-spoke polished aluminum rims. 21-inchers are also available. Powering the Sport is the Edge's top engine for 2015, which is Ford's EcoBoost 2.7-liter twin-turbocharged V6. It's a dual overhead cam 24-valve power plant with direct injection, and it produces 315 horsepower at 4750 RPM, together with an impressive 350 pound-feet of torque at 2750 RPM. Power is sent to the front wheels of this Edge via a 6-speed automatic transmission with a manual mode. It can run on regular unleaded, and with an 18-gallon fuel tank, the front-wheel drive Edge Sport gets an estimated 18 mpg in the city and 27 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear setup. It has 4-wheel disc brakes with ventilated front ones. I believe curb weight for front-wheel drive Edge Sports is roughly 4,200 pounds, and that the towing capacity for the Sport is about 2,000 pounds.
saw earlier, the fuel door is on the driver's side. The rear door panels also have storage with bottle holders. More of that nice stitched trim. To aid cargo space, the rear seats also fold flat. So both front seats have storage pockets on the backs, air vents for the rear, some storage along with a rear power outlet. Also got coat hooks back here. You also have a folding center armrest with 2 cup holders. Now as for space back here, someone who's about 6 foot to 6'1" adjusted the driver's seat to where I'd have it if I was driving. And being a mid-size crossover, I would expect a decent amount of room, and that's what I get. My legs are sort of against the seat, but they're not pushing against it, they're just very close to it. And back seat is very comfortable. Pretty much, yeah, nothing to really complain about in terms of space. And this is someone of my size sitting in front of someone of my size. So if the person in front of me was shorter, or they just like the seat further forward, or if I was smaller, then there'd be even more leg room. My headroom is very sufficient. The roof does slope upwards to allow some more headroom, at least the headliner does. Not bad at all in terms of space. Dual exhaust, rear wiper.
The Edge offers 39.2 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear seats up. Fold the rear seats down and you now get 73.4 cubic feet.
Back here, in addition to a power outlet, you can also fold down the back seats just with the push of a button, leaving a pretty generous amount of cargo space.
Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2015 Ford Edge, and as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.